Welcome back to the weekly Water Report, where we break down the latest developments in water news across the Colorado River Basin and beyond. This week, we've got political battles over hydropower, a funding freeze that could impact conservation, major new grants for the Verde River, a heated congressional inquiry into a controversial water release, and worsening drought conditions in the West. Let's dive in. Our first story takes us to Utah, where lawmakers are pushing to reverse restrictions on hydropower generation at Glen Canyon Dam. The Basin Fund Preservation Act, introduced by Utah Senators Mike Lee and John Curtis, aims to undo the Biden administration's limits on hydropower production. Supporters argue that cutting hydropower has led to higher energy costs across multiple states, but environmental advocates say these restrictions protect endangered species and the stability of the Colorado River. What's next? Expect fierce debates in Congress as energy interests clash with environmental concerns. Meanwhile, a $4 billion freeze on conservation funding could put crucial water-saving efforts at risk. The Trump administration issued an executive order halting funding for the Lower Colorado River System Conservation and Efficiency Program, a key initiative that's helped stabilize Lake Mead. Senator Mark Kelly and other lawmakers are pushing to lift the freeze, warning that without it, water conservation goals could fall short, just as forecasts predict a dry year ahead. Budget cuts have also hit the National Park Service hard, leading to layoffs at Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. Fewer staff means potential delays in emergency response, wastewater management, and park maintenance, all critical for keeping public lands safe and accessible. Adding to the uncertainty, a new review of national monuments, including Bears Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante, could lead to reductions in federally protected lands, making way for more mining and drilling. On a brighter note, the Nature Conservancy in Arizona secured an $11.5 million federal grant to protect the Upper Verde River and Big Chino grasslands. With a 50% match from partners, that's $23 million going toward conservation easements, water flow improvements, and habitat protection. This initiative will help maintain water supplies for communities, agriculture, and wildlife while ensuring long-term sustainability for one of Arizona's last free-flowing rivers. With the Colorado River's future on the line, Arizona's congressional delegation is calling for a high-level meeting with Interior Secretary Doug Burgum. Lawmakers stress that while short-term conservation efforts have bought time, the region needs a permanent, equitable water sharing agreement to avoid a crisis. In a major step toward resolving water disputes, Arizona lawmakers introduced the Northeastern Arizona Indian Water Rights Settlement Act. This historic agreement will grant over 56,000 acre-feet of Colorado River water annually to the Navajo Nation, Hopi Tribe, and San Juan Southern Paiute Tribe, while funding $5.1 billion in water infrastructure projects. For decades, these communities have struggled with access to clean water, and this agreement represents a turning point for their future. Following a Supreme Court ruling, the EPA is set to revise the definition of waters of the United States under the Clean Water Act. The decision aims to reduce regulatory burdens on farmers and landowners, but critics worry that narrowing the scope of federal water protections could lead to weaker environmental oversight. An executive order from President Trump directed the release of 2.5 billion gallons of water from California reservoirs, purportedly for wildfire relief. However, water managers say the release was unnecessary and poorly coordinated, leading to wasted resources and potential flood risks. Now Congress is demanding answers, with lawmakers calling the move a dangerous publicity stunt that disregarded proper water management protocols. Finally, drought conditions in the Colorado River Basin continue to deepen. The latest U.S. Drought Monitor report shows that 66% of the western U.S. is experiencing drought, with extreme to exceptional conditions expanding in Arizona and New Mexico. Experts warn that without significant spring precipitation, water shortages and wildfire risks could increase in the coming months. That wraps up this week's water news. If you want daily updates, check out westernwater.com, where we post the latest developments every weekday. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed on all things water. See you next time on the Weekly Water Report.